A large cruise ship can have over 2,000 passenger cabins, so how do you pick which one is right for you? I'm going to tell you about the differences and what to watch out for when choosing your cabin. We'll look at inside and outside cabins, and I'll share some tips on getting your cabin even cheaper. Hi there, and welcome aboard. Everybody has a different idea of what will work for them on board a cruise. But if you're going on your first cruise, how do you know what cabin or category will work for you? Picking the perfect cabin location on a cruise ship can be a little daunting. Some people want to be on a high deck for the views. Others want to be on a low deck because it's a little more stable. Some want to be near the spa or some other venue they know they'll visit often. You could spend hours wading through websites and brochures looking for the perfect stateroom. There are a few things to consider when picking your cabin. The size of the cabin, whether it has a view of the outside world, what perks are included, and, of course, location. Think about how high a deck you want to be on, whether you want to be near the front or the back of the ship, maybe even right in the middle. Forward and higher deck cabins have more movement, so if you suffer from motion sickness, or you think you will, your ideal location would be on a low deck midships. You could also consider a balcony cabin so you could get some fresh air and look at the horizon, which will often help with any motion sickness. Whatever type of stateroom you pick, you should also look at the deck plans and see what's around that cabin, especially above you. For the quietest experience, picking a location with cabins above and below you and away from heavy traffic areas will really cut down the noise from outside your room. Let me know what kinds of cabins you've sailed in and what you liked or didn't like about your experience in the comments below. There are usually 4 cabin types: inside, outside, balconies, and suites. Some lines add extras. Royal Caribbean has neighborhoods on some of their ships. MSC has their yacht club. NCL have the Haven and studio cabins. Cunard have their grill classes. And the list goes on and on. If you're going on a cruise, whether it's your first or your 15th, you're going to need to pick at least a cabin type. So let's get into comparing them. Inside or interior cabins have all the basics: a bed, washroom, storage, likely a desk or a small table. What they don't have is a window. Sort of. Royal Caribbean was the first line to introduce an inside cabin with a view in the form of a huge screen that looks like a window. The view will depend on where on the ship you're located, and there are curtains to block it off when you want it a little darker in the room. Other lines are now offering similar cabins. An inside cabin can be anywhere from 100 square feet for a solo or studio cabin to over 300 square feet for a family-sized interior cabin. They'll sleep anywhere from 1 to 6 people, but don't expect a lot of space with more than about 2 in the cabin. Insides tend to be really well priced, so if you're traveling on a tight budget, this could very well be the cabin for you. There are inside cabins on most decks, so you can pick a midship, low deck cabin, feel pretty much no movement at all. There are, of course, pros and cons. Cost and availability are the biggest pros, but there's a lack of a view, and the potential noise based on location are the biggest cons for the interior cabins. Next off, we have the ocean view cabins. An ocean view or an outside cabin is basically an inside cabin with a window. Originally, these windows were portholes, and you can see that in this picture of the original Love Boat. Compared to the newer Majestic Princess from the same cruise line, you can see there are a lot less portholes, and the ones you see in the picture of the Majestic Princess are probably crew cabins. These days, the windows tend to be larger and more square, and some even go floor to ceiling. Outsides are usually on lower decks than balcony cabins, and they're getting less common as cruise lines add more and more balconies and suites to their ships. They're a little more expensive than an inside cabin, but they are larger in most cases, and of course, they offer a view of the sea and the ports you're visiting. By the way, the windows don't open, so even if you're on the lowest decks, you don't have to worry about sinking the ship because you left your window open. Pros and cons? Again, cost is a big plus, as is the extra space you'll find. On the negative side, there isn't a lot of availability, especially on the newer, bigger ships. But consider an outside cabin if you're traveling on a smaller budget, but still want lots of light and a view of the world outside. But what if you're traveling single, like more and more people are? In the past, traveling as a solo cruiser was an expensive proposition. Cruise lines often have a single supplement, which can be up to 100% of your cruise fare, so you end up paying for 2 people when only one is cruising. But times are changing, and as more people take vacations on their own, lines now offer special cabins and even special areas on the ship for the solo cruiser. Take a look at lines like Royal Caribbean, MSC, Holland America, Celebrity, Cunard, Virgin Voyages, and Norwegian. Outside of North America, Saga, Fred Olsen, and P&O Cruise Lines, among others, offer solo cabins. Cabins designed with single cruisers in mind are often a little smaller than the regular cabins, and cabin types are limited, usually inside or outside only. So availability is an issue with these staterooms. Be sure to book early. Whether solo, a couple, a family, or a group of friends, there are other ways to save money when booking your cruise. First of all, check out the prices of all the cabin categories when you're looking at the cruise line website. Cruise lines will offer deep discounts for booking very early on, especially on sailings out of prime season or on newer ships or itineraries. Then, check with your travel advisor to see if they have any special rates. Travel agents affiliated with larger agencies might have group space booked at special rates, or they have other offers you won't get if you book directly with the cruise line. And finally, check the cruise line website frequently after you've booked. If you see the prices dropped or they're having a special sale, they'll often give you the better rate, but you or your travel agent have to ask for it. I've saved hundreds of dollars on a cruise this way. But no matter what category you book, your cruise will visit the same ports. You're bound to have a great time making memories that last a lifetime. All the staff and crew will do their best to make sure you at least consider taking another cruise with that line. And in my experience in over 25 years of cruise vacations, a bad day on a cruise is way better than a great day in the office. I really hope this has helped you decide if an ocean view or an inside cabin will work for you on your next cruise. For more info on verandas, suites, and the whole ship within a ship concept, watch part 2 of this video. Hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get notified when part 2 comes out. And to check out my other videos for more tips and helpful information to make your experience amazing. Hey, thanks for stopping by, and we'll see you on board.